Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we are going to go over the newest version in the world of Monster Strike. It is version 27.5. It's pretty rare for us to hit a .5, I feel like. So, really interesting that I wonder what they have behind the scenes. Do they have something big, or is it just that they haven't had anything, interesting to do? So that we're just, just kind of like circling on small, very small updates. Today is really probably one of the most uneventful updates in quite a while. So don't get too excited, but nonetheless, let's make sure you don't miss out on anything with this update. Now, this update is probably the most exciting thing of the update, and that is the introduction of more good job stamps. You can now use up to 4 good job stamps when you are playing co-op, but you need to set it up. So how do we do that? Well, first you click the rank button on the top of your screen, and then you will be presented this page. On the top right, you can see a green button. You can click that, and that will get you to your good job wheel. Now, the good job stamp that you have selected right now will be in the top selection, and it is important to note that that top selection is what will happen when you do a double tap in game. Now, you get the option for 3 more now, and that's up to you to figure out. There's a lot that you have probably picked up over the years in this game. Find the collabs that you loved, find the ones that feature your particular monsters that you favor. What else do you But if you can figure out, like, well, maybe the phrases that some of these people say might actually be useful in certain situations, or you can just be gimmicky with like I always liked the boat. I just thought that explosion was fun, and I think everybody used this for a while. That was really annoying. But just find the collabs that you really like, and just stick it in there, right? I'll just do that for now, and you are good. Now, how do you use these good job stickers? Well, when you are in co-op, all you have to do is long press the screen and then flick in the direction that you care about. Once you have this, in game, you will be able to see that wheel come up. I know I was saying earlier, somebody put in the comments that, well, it's not going to be during your turn, and duh, yes, that's absolutely correct. So thank you for that slap of reality for me there. But obviously when it's not your turn, it's not going to conflict with anything. So you can figure out which part of the wheel you want. You don't have to memorize it. It'll show up on there when you do a long press, and then just flick in the direction that makes sense to you. So pretty fun update. There are a lot of good job stamps that this game has given out. I in particular love that Sailor Mars good job stamp, and I have not touched it since. But this gets me an option to play around with a few new options, which is pretty darn cool. Now, a little small update. I'm not sure if this is going to really affect many people, but when you take on a quest, you don't have monsters ready to go at all times in their optimal forms. So, let's say we're going to do Salem, and well, I wanted to see what monsters I could use in my party. When you are making that team here, right? You can see already scroll down. When you scroll down, right? We've seen this before in the top 20. That's already been there. But when you go into the others, right? The other monsters in your box, you can now scroll all the way down and see which forms those monsters need to be in to be optimal for your team, right? So it'll say Jushinka Kai. So here's your monsters. I haven't gotten around to, Jushinka Kai my Dahlia here. So if I made that a Kai, I'd be able to use it for that Salem stage. Or at least it meets the gimmicks for it. Maybe not optimal. But Jushinka here, Ascended Kamika, or the Shinka Evo form. So whichever one floats your boat, you can take that now. Also, a very small update with your filters, and oh, right, I forgot about well, I guess why don't we do it now, since I need to pad out the video anyway. Oh no, I don't have enough for Cinderella here. I have definitely been lazy on farming those gems. So I guess I got to do that after this. Anyways, back to this. There is a new option here in the Kaiho Jotai, and that will allow you to check if a monster has that Ableberry slot already unlocked, whether it's by the Ableberry scroll or feeding a monster onto itself to get another. Actually, I don't know if it applies to that, but well, let's take back that last one. But as long as you have used your Ableberry scroll, for sure it'll show up in here. So if you maybe used one and maybe you wanted to see which monsters you still haven't put Ableberries on, I guess you can do this. I'm not really sure why this is super necessary, but I guess it does confirm that you've used an opening on them. So I guess that's something. So and that is it for the big updates. We do have a bunch of small miscellaneous updates, and actually this first and second one is actually possibly kind of really nice. When you are fusing monsters together, and I don't know if I'm gonna have anybody here that I can do this on. Let's try this. So let's take a look. When you fuse monsters, right, you have them in a particular form. When you first get a monster, it's going to be in this unselected misette form, right? Now, when you fuse a monster with luck together, you will now see this happen. And then it'll come to this screen. Now, this is a very subtle change, but this is pretty darn important. It is defaulted to the monster that you just fused together, right? The game will now understand, oh, you fused these monsters together, you probably want that auto fuse on. So the default will now be onto that monster that you have just fed luck to, which I think is pretty nice. And then if you go and evolve it, and this is the second bullet point here, when you evolve that monster, right? Note that the default is now to the form that you just evolved to. So very nice subtle update here. It'll help make that, it'll save a few clicks, which is always good for UI processes. I think a lot of people do intend to do these new default actions, so I think this is a great update. And it's one that was hidden in the text in the game, in the online site. They didn't show this on the stream, but I think this is a pretty huge update. Now, on the flip side, do be careful if for whatever reason you want to get a monster only to 10. Just make sure you note that the default has been switched this way. If you need to be careful about that. I can see some edge cases there, but I do think that the majority of use cases will take advantage of this very well, and I am very happy to see this in the game. The third one is just a pure, behind the scenes kind of thing. When you back up the game, and if you haven't done that already, do consider doing that. You can hit it by going to the question mark here, and then look for the yellow menu item on the screen. This is the data backup. Click the red button, and you'll be presented to a screen to back up your account. Please do that if you have not done so already. As we've seen, the game or the company has been moving away from X-Flag and going to their parent company Mixi to, just, I guess, I don't know, branding? I don't know. But we will now be using Mixi IDs to back up our accounts. Now, don't worry, if you have already backed up before, your X-Flag ID is already converted into a Mixi ID, and you have to do absolutely nothing. For those of you doing new backup accounts, the UI might be a little bit different from any videos in the past or guides in the past that shows how the screens work, but I think I do remember everything be very language friendly, so you should be able to do it with no problem. Again, this is a seamless change, nothing you need to do, just an FYI. If you see what's a Mixi ID, it's just the same as an X-Flag ID. And the last thing is when you do your gachas, whether it's the Mon Pass bonuses, the first get pack that you buy, or the new player premium pack, the ability pack, and then your in-game rewards for the Uncharted Lands for your first get, and the castle reward gachas, those gachas will now include monsters who have been released into the game up to March 31st, 2024. So, I mean, you'll be able to get newer monsters, which is always nice for those of you who are like on the cusp of comping and you're always missing the new ones. Good news, you've got another option there. Now, of course, we finish off all these update gachas with a 50% gacha pull. We'll see if we can't get any love here. Let's do that. And, ooh, I guess, well, I still have my Harudamas. I gotta figure out where to spend those. So, I don't know. I forget how many days left I have for that, but make sure you don't lose out on those Harudamas. John Manjiro! So I missed the 50% there. As you know, this is just a pure coin flip. It does cost 5 orbs, but it gives you a general monster half of the time. Actually, let's get my alt account doing while I finish it up. And of course, you know, with the end of a maintenance means we get this special Morling quest. Please don't forget to do it. Clearing it gives you 5 orbs that can pay for your single pull there, or you can just pocket it and say, I'm good. That's what I want to keep. So here we go. Let's just do it off screen for my alt. Let's see. Oh, that's a double miss. I feel like that's kind of rare. But yeah, there you go. That's it. So yeah, I mean, just a little bit of small things here and there with the news, but I mean, at least you know, hopefully you can take advantage of the good job stamps, take advantage of the subtle updates to the fusion. I think that's the best. And I need to go farm those gems so that I can, you know, true transcend my Cinderella, because she is my first monster in Monster Strike. I mean, that's what I've always understood. Hopefully my memory isn't wrong, but yeah, look at that. So I'm really excited to get her to that new form. A little sad that I didn't have it ready to go, but I think the art looks pretty darn good. So, and the strike shot name just makes me crack up. That's it for me today. Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, do consider hitting the like button, subscribing if you have not done so already, and of course, leaving a comment. Love to see comments. ENG Monst on Twitter/X. Get your news there. We should have news very soon. So, actually, no. Our news is on Saturday this week. So, don't mess that up like I almost did. And of course, the Discord channel, link to the server in the description below. Lots of folks who love the game, speak English, can help you out at any time. So, that's it for me today. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Bye.